Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. Hopefully you guys had an amazing week and you have a closing and you have the weekend off, right? If not, just have a great weekend. But we're going to take a look at their feelings, your feelings, and their possible next actions towards you. And sometimes that means nothing. I know, wah, wah. But we'll see what happens. I'm going to pull some cards and we're going to go quick today. The Fridays are the quick readings. And I want to stick to that because I tend to drag things out. And I'm also doing super chats after this. So I got one person, I think, on the list so far. No, I got a couple people. Sorry, I didn't see that some super chats came in. I have Fernando, Abigail, and Romy. What's up? And so if you guys want to get on the list, jump in because as soon as I'm done today. It is Friday. I've had a really extremely weird and busy week this week, and I'm ready for a little bit of a break. So let's get into it. We're getting with Aries. We're going to take a look at Aries, their feelings for you, your feelings. Hello, Angel, Lisa, Bettina, all you guys. I see you. Sorry I didn't do a shout out. Just jumping right into it today. Aries. All right. Aries, Aries, Aries. Their feelings. Oh, the Page of Cups. All right. So it looks like it's real. It looks like somebody's feeling something. Somebody's feeling a certain way. And it's innocent, right? It's nice. It's emotional. It's vulnerability. Sometimes people in this energy are super vulnerable and don't know what to say, or it might seem like sometimes they're playing games with you, but they're not. It's just like every time they make a move, if it's subtle and you don't respond well, they may take it as a rejection. So they want something with you, they feel something with you, but there's a hesitancy coming through, as in, like, I'm trying to show you, but maybe every time I get a signal, I feel a little bit more shy about opening up. It doesn't have to be the word shy. I know that sounds, some of you guys are like, my person's not shy, but they definitely are making an attempt, it seems like, to open up and tell you how they feel. Let's see what you're feeling. What's going on with you? The Five of Cups. All right. So it looks like you're not happy with the way they've been expressing themselves lately. You're feeling it. You're feeling something. You're feeling some sort of pull, and maybe you keep expecting things to turn out difficult, right? Because you've had some difficult, encounters in the past, or you expect to kind of to be let down, right? And a part of you, may be feeling this, and a part of you may be hoping that they would step up and maybe come to you to make it easier for you, so that you don't always have to be the one pursuing this, because maybe you are feeling like you are the one that has to constantly check on the thermometer to see if it's still hot, if it's still alive, if it's still happening. So it does make you feel a little bit down. You're kind of disappointed in the way the circumstances are showing up. You really want somebody to open up to you. And I am seeing that your person here, maybe even has been trying to show you subtly, that they know, one, that you're unhappy with them, and two, they may even feel bad that they haven't presented themselves in a certain way. And three, are you going to be let down with what it is when they fully open up? This is what happens with somebody with the Page of Cups. It feels like whenever I do try to open up, it feels like it might not be enough, or I might be rejected, and it's going to disappoint you anyways. So there is a little bit of a hesitancy. So let's see what their next move is, if any. And I see the Three of Cups, right? Something's getting started here between you and somebody else. And it feels like maybe they're hoping that somebody will pass a note to you. Somebody will say something to you. Somebody will, be there for them. Or they see you hanging out with people and they want to be a part of the group. So they may find themselves somehow meeting up with you or connecting with you in a way that it seems more casual. Pay attention to your person, because it looks like they're trying to open up with you, but they're being more casual about it, which means you might not get this like huge announcement, hey, I'm here, but it's listen to what's happening around you and listen to the people around you. And it seems like they are trying to make their approach, and they could be talking to you more or connecting with you more, especially this weekend. If not this weekend, go into the week, all right? It just shows me the energy that somebody's looking for the perfect opportunity. Let me get an oracle for you, and I'm going to move on to Taurus. Think about the person that's on your mind. I'm going to pull one oracle. This oracle just fell out. In the ashes of hurt, fresh dreams are waiting to be born. All right, so something is growing out of something that has just happened between you and another person. Maybe you are a little disappointed. Maybe there is some grieving or there is a separation, but something is still growing here. And we are seeing that whatever happened cleared the path for you and another person, or the person on your mind, to actually see what's important moving forward. So some of you may get that I'm sorry, or I love you. And I have Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, very strong water energy showing up for you. All right, my Taurus is 7. We started. All right, Taurus is. All right, Taurus. Their feelings. Taurus, their feelings and your feelings, and what's getting started. What might they do next? Let's see, and I'll pull an oracle for you for the person on your mind. All right, you have the Ace of Cups, the bottom of the deck. And so there's love starting here, the Knight of Wands. All right, somebody pursuing you. Somebody's still feeling pulled towards you. So the attraction, is definitely real here. It's like, where we're at, I don't know what's going on. I don't know. Maybe I'm aggravated. Maybe I pull away. Maybe I do all these crazy things, but something keeps pulling me towards you. And I am getting a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sag. Somebody with a lot of fire. All right, so it does look like somebody is coming towards you, maybe pursuing you. They want to be, outgoing about it, open about it. Maybe they might even be acting light about something, right? Just so that they can get things started with you. All right, so if there's been some sort of slowing down in a relationship, or somebody seeming like they're not interested, this weekend you'll have the truth, or even give it a few days, right? You will know who's going to come forward and pursue you. And when they pull away, it doesn't always have something to do with you. So let's see their feelings. The Eight of Cups. All right, this is somebody that's been taking some time to think about what it is they really want on their path. So a person like this can tend to go distant or go quiet. And it feels like sometimes they're walking away from you or just not interested. And that's exactly what I picked up about. All right. So for some of you, yes, of course, there might be somebody that is just so busy focusing on themselves right now that maybe they're not able to give you the attention that you're seeking, or maybe they are uninterested. But the person I'm picking up for most of you today is showing here, you are somebody that I'm interested in. You're somebody that I feel something for. And so even despite times when I need to be by myself, I'm still feeling a strong pull towards you. All right, I forgot the banner. Thank you. Sorry about that, Taurus. And so let's see your feelings with this. Eight of Pentacles. Some of you are getting used to this, all right? Some of you just feel like, this has been happening. They pull away, so you're trying to find other ways to keep yourself busy. Maybe it is work. Maybe this person is really invested in work and and you know it. You wish you could do something different. You you feel it, you feel something there, and you just know that no matter what you do or what you say, it doesn't seem to maybe change anything. So what I'm seeing this weekend is if you feel like there's distance or somebody's not paying attention to you, somebody's not focused on you, I am getting here to be comfortable in this energy because they will be making some sort of offer to you in the future. But right now, you both are kind of doing your own thing and finding ways to keep yourself distracted this weekend. Their next possible move towards you, I see the King of Pentacles. I mean, you have this, something is started between the two of you. Something about you feels good to this person. This is you owning it. This is you not making the mistake of somebody here not paying attention to you as not being interested in you. It just is what it is. And there's just so many ways I can go about this. But I do feel like the more you don't worry about or pay attention to your person's moods, and when they go a little bit distant, the more you're going to see that they appreciate that you give them the space and they respect you and they always come back to you. I'm seeing I'm seeing your energy right here. It's like, I feel like you always are there. You understand. I come find you and I will be taking, the next step towards you and coming back around to you. So it may not happen this weekend, but it does look like you've got your hooks in this person. It could be another earth sign. Think about the person on your mind, and I will pull an oracle for you. Ooh, too many cards. Think about the person. I do see Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn for you. All right. Hope shapes your future more than pain ever could. All right. So this is when you're focusing a lot on the distance or the pain. All right. You're living in fear and not faith. Right. And this is asking you to have a little bit more faith in the situation and finding other things to do while somebody else is being distracted. Because when this happens, you can find yourself thinking of all the worst case scenarios that can be going on that could actually, make you make choices, as in pulling away from somebody or going a different direction. Whereas I feel like a little bit of hope, a little bit more time and patience with this person that's on your mind. All right, Gemini. Oh, my Gemini's popping in. Let me get a good shuffle. I'm starting it at 13. Hello, Miss Gemini. Hello, Miss Nature. All right, Gemini, what is their feelings for you? Look at it this weekend. You have the Chariot cards. Maybe you're going somewhere. Maybe somebody's been busy. Maybe somebody's very focused. All right. And there's still some confusion here about the direction of something, right? But the Chariot card here is telling me there's movement happening this weekend. So the energy says we're making progress. Things are going to move forward here. They might move pretty quickly with that energy too. So your person's feelings, the Four of Pentacles. All right. So you got them hooked. All right. Maybe they like talking to you. Maybe they like hanging around you. Maybe they like being around you. Maybe they like thinking about you. Maybe they like trying to figure you out, right? Before they go all in. This can be a hesitation, all right? And it can be somebody here that just feels safe enough to keep you kind of waiting while they figure it out, which can be bullshit. I get it, right? You're like, well, I don't want to wait any longer, but it does feel like this person kind of keeps you guessing a little bit, and they want you to know that they're still kind of lurking and hanging around there. Maybe they're just playing it safe, all right? You know, I don't feel yet like they're just trying to keep their options open, but it feels like this person here wants the connection, wants to be connected with you, but isn't ready for to let go of control or a label, which means that maybe they want to keep their life the way it is, and they still want to flirt or be tempted with you. All right. So let's see your feelings. The Seven of Wands, bullshit. You're like, bullshit. You're more invested than you're letting on. All right. It's getting hard for you to stay grounded and not want to assert or push forward. So I can see that some of my Geminis are like getting antsy. All right. You know, you're maybe pushing or asserting more than you normally would for anybody else. All right. You feel it, you want their attention, you get their attention at times, but you want more. And that's the problem. It's like you got a Four of Pentacles here. Somebody saying, nope, I'm just testing. This is like, I'm like fine wine and cheese. I get better with age. And you're like, bullshit, you know? But the problem with this is you may find yourself asserting, and this person has more control over you than you think, because this person is getting you to react in a sense where you might show up more around them. You might call them more, text them more, ask them more questions, get antsy. And a part of them is watching you and observing you and seeing how far you'll go. But the other hand, this card is telling me, no, slow back down and ground yourself, because it looks like it is starting to frustrate you. And that's where things could take a turn. So what is happening? What is their next possible actions towards you, if any? And I see the Judgment card. All right. So I do feel like somebody is still just kind of talking to you, communicating with you, maybe being a little bit more honest and truthful when they're having conversation with you. But this person is still trying to figure out their own direction, their own truth, and whether or not they want to make a decision just yet. So they're kind of holding back, and their energy right now, they don't want to make that important decision yet. They don't want to make that move yet. All right. So you got a person here that's still kind of hanging back, and it's up to however you decide to react to the situation. It's not going anywhere. All right. I do feel like this person wants the connection with you. They keep you around, but they're scared to commit. They're scared to label it. They're scared to make a choice just yet. You have fire sign and earth sign, maybe even Scorpio. Now, the Chariot card is also telling me there's still progress and movement in this connection, but you're still kind of playing this this game here in a way. Think about the person that's on your mind, and I'll get an oracle. You know, possibly maybe they do finally make a decision. I'm not going to say they don't with the Judgment card there, but the Four of Pentacles tells me that you still got somebody that is just scared to decide, scared to make that move. All right. Your spirit blooms anew each time life challenges you. So what this tells me about the person that's on your mind is that they are watching you, maybe even from a distance. And they just see that no matter what you're confronted with, no matter what's going on, whatever's said, you just always bounce back better than ever, and you let things roll. And there must be something about your energy that is attracting this person in, because no matter how much life challenges you, you seem to stay in good spirits, and this person is very attracted to that. All right, let's see. Did I not change it to Cancer either? Am I messing up big time? That was Gemini, and I didn't even put Gemini's tag on it. I'm sorry. I've got to be more consistent with this. I'm trying to stay focused, and this is what's happening. All right, Cancer. Guys, you got to keep me on point here. You knew. I forgot. All right. Cancer, what's your 19? I know. I know you guys do. You guys do a great job. All right, Cancer. Cancer, their feelings are feelings. And let's see if there's any movement this weekend. Two of Swords kind of gives me hesitation. There's still somebody here that's sitting on the fence. You know I want to do something. I know I feel a pull, but man, I just keep talking myself out of it. All right. And I have the Five of Cups. Is somebody afraid to disappoint you with something they have to say, or, they disappointed you in the past and now they're just still, what is it too soon? Is it too soon to say something? Is it too soon to start something with my Cancer? Obviously, the feelings run deep, and deeper than this person is letting on here, especially if they're acting indifferent to you or they're pulling away and you are feeling some sort of hesitation. It means this person's really trying to process their feelings and trying to figure out what to do next. So here are the feelings. Ace of Swords. Look at this. So this could be what's been happening in the background, but you have a person that knows exactly what they want and what they're thinking and then wanting to communicate with you. All right. But I do feel like what's happening is they keep going around in circles. Is it the right time? All right. They've been hurt and they remember, right? And so they're still holding on to some sort of pain, right? And they may pull back. Maybe when you're somebody new in their life, they may pull back and get hesitant because it's a risk. It's like, I might be getting into something that, I just got hurt. Am I going to get hurt again? Am I going to be a fool again? Maybe it was with you, maybe something did happen, but you can see that it's somebody who's almost sending you a text and then deleting it before they send it, or they write you an email, or they see you and they want to confront you or walk up to you, but yet they pull back. All right. So it's just a matter of time here before this person finally caves. Let's see your feelings. The King of Pentacles. It looks like you've been pretty content. All right. You're staying kind of grounded. You know exactly what you want. Maybe you've dealt with this before. You want this to be real. You want a real relationship. And honestly, maybe this does stress you out a little bit because somebody keeps going back and forth. But it seems like you know yourself right now. And this person here, you're comfortable. You're comfortable in the situation. Something's going to come out of it. Trust your intuition here. You're looking good. And it's also saying just be grounded and be patient. Obviously with this card here too, I'm sorry guys, it is like, you got to be patient for your person. Don't push or force, allow things to happen, because it looks like their energy is all about you. And the more grounded you are, the safer they feel connecting with you. And this is also what's drawing them to you as well. They just see you as somebody that is the best thing that maybe even that's been in their life, right? Or come into their life, an opportunity. Maybe they just weren't ready for this to happen. So what's their next actual move, if any? I see the Three of Wands. So it looks like this person at least is going to make some sort of movement, right? I do see here that they're going to be pulled to say something to you. Maybe you guys are talking. Maybe they're just testing the waters before they fully dive in. So they're trying to see things come together here. And so we are seeing progress. So this weekend, there could be some talking, connecting, or some, a little bit of space, between you guys with this energy. But it shows me that you're going to have some sort of sign or movement when it comes to them still wanting you to know that they're around you and they want this to move forward. Right? And this can be connecting. So some of you might they may finally get off the fence and ask you to go somewhere. So if some of you are dealing with somebody, maybe it's about the next step. Maybe somebody likes having you around them. They like talking to you. But the question is, where's this going? And this person here is still trying to figure out if they're ready. So think about the person that's on your mind. Good afternoon. And I'll pull an oracle for you. So think about the person that is on your mind. You have hope too. So hope shapes your future more than the pain ever could. So no matter what you're going through with the person on your mind, all right, don't lose hope. You guys may be discovering more about each other. You may be dealing with something that's happening, going through some rough patches. But it looks like whoever's on your mind right now, it is saying here that, you know, there's still hope for this connection and there is something that's growing here. But maybe the timing is just a little challenging for you and focusing on healing whatever pain that's going on with you. All right. How is everyone doing today? Thank you for asking that. It's been a long week, busy week, very fruitful week, very getting things done week, but I'm ready for this weekend. All right. So I have Leo up there. Leo, their feelings, your feelings, and possible next movement toward you. All right, we have the Hermit card. So I am seeing or sensing that somebody's a little bit distant from you right now. You know, maybe this is a good time to kind of spend a little bit of alone time, figure out what it is you really want. All right, so this weekend, we're only looking at the next couple of days. So it looks like maybe there is space, maybe somebody is traveling, going somewhere, or it's long distance still, and or you just feel like this person just keeps you at a distance in some way. And so let's see what's going on. Let's see what their feelings is and what is the distance about. I see the Eight of Cups, right? It looks like your person is really trying to figure out their path. All right. You know, it's like we have something here. We definitely have feelings for each other, and it's hard to go in this direction. It's hard to give each other space. It's hard to do this. The silence is really hard, but it feels like this person needs to figure something out in their life. All right. It feels like I'm not happy or fulfilled with my own life, my own situation. And so I'm just not quite sure yet where the path is leading me and where this relationship is going just yet. All right. So the light is still on here, but you do have somebody here that, you know, one maybe is used to being by themselves. You know, they're trying to figure out their own path, and they also just don't want to commit to anything that is solid just yet, especially if they're just coming into this new path and trying to figure out what they want to do. So how do you feel? The Moon card, it's definitely kind of making you feel emotional because you feel the connection with this person and you also see the possibilities, but you're just not seeing the signs. You feel like things are constantly up in the air or changing. Right? And you, with the Moon card, it can be like, I know there's a connection there. I feel the warmth. I feel this person. I know this person's thinking about me. I know something can come of this. Right. But this person may come around and then give signs. And then all of a sudden it's like a cycle. They just go and then they go distant because your person is still, it's like you came into their life or you're in their life and they're not 100% sure of what's going to happen, but they also don't want to lose the opportunity to have you in their life too. So they really care about you, want you around them, but they are not ready to make some sort of huge decision about their path in their life. Also, if they just freshly came out of an unhealthy situation, this person is not ready to get emotionally entangled right away. Right, but it doesn't mean they're not feeling you. So what is their next actions towards you? I see the Seven of Pentacles. It seems like this person here really does see you as somebody that is quality, somebody that we could build something in the future, but I just need you to have a little bit more patience with me. Right. And now for those of you that have had years and years and years of patience, that's going to be a very triggering energy. And that Hermit card can say there's been a long time between the two of you. But again, you know, everybody has their own stories, and how long you're willing to wait, you know, for somebody, it's totally your free will. But I can see here that there's still movement, and this person here is just slow to want to make a decision about the next direction in their life. All right, so I got Pisces energy. You know, and you're also dealing with somebody, this is coming through too, Leo. You're dealing with somebody here that has a lot of good ideas, wants to do a lot of things, wants to have a relationship, wants to move forward, but they've been alone, or they're definitely somebody here that has a hard time letting somebody in. So that could be what you're dealing with this person. And emotionally, it's messing with you inside, because you know that things could be better, but this person may not jump in and trust the situation, and they may doubt it, and it's really messing with you emotionally. So think about the person that's on your mind. So you may still be playing the waiting game over the next couple days. Person on Leo's mind. Our bond feels like it's on the edge of break-in. All right, so for whoever's on your mind right now, it does feel like there could be a little bit of a distance between you and this person, and maybe a little bit of space is what's going to keep this relationship together. Because for some of you, it feels like both of you are feeling the distance. The Eight of Cups can be, you know, we both know it's over, but we don't want to give up on it. We don't want to stop this. We don't want, you know, what if is my moon card? What if we give up too soon? So you guys are both kind of feeling, but this is where if we just take a couple steps back, we may be able to reconcile our differences and make something happen here before it totally breaks. All right, Virgo. $32. All right, don't forget I'm doing the super chat after this. Whoever's on the list, that's it, I'm out. I love you guys, but it is the weekend. All right, Virgo. Woo. All right, Virgo. Cards are just wanting to fly, but I don't want to take just anything. The Magician and the Empress. Wow, you just got a bunch of cards just flying. Let's see. All right. Your person's feelings, your feelings and potential, what their next action might be, plus an oracle from the person on your mind. Seven of Swords, right? So what's not being said? You may be feeling it. Like, I know that somebody's not being 100% honest. You know, there's something being held back here in a relationship. Somebody not being 100% transparent about their feelings, or somebody just not letting you know what their concerns are. And you know, maybe for you, Virgo, maybe you're having a hard time really trusting something good that's happening in a situation. Your person's feelings, the Six of Swords. All right, so this is somebody that's moving forward with you, that definitely wants to see where things will go. It's like, we're on this path together. I feel pulled towards you. I feel like this is new. You're very new for them, so this is a new situation. And even if you're in a connection with somebody, it's like they're trying to go in a new direction, which still can be uncertain, because I don't have the proof of what's going to happen yet. You know, I don't know know what things are going to look like between us. I don't know how things are going to play out, but I'm trying to trust. So I do see some trust issues coming up, and it could be between both of you. So pay attention to what somebody's doing, not what they're saying. This is one of these small things that make a big difference here, because somebody's really trying to move forward with you regardless of any kind of distrust or uncertainty. It's like even you want to know the plan. You want to make sure you're safe before you commit 100%. And this is the end. You both are kind of moving into new territory. So let's see your feelings. The 10 of Wands, right? You may be picking up on this. Maybe you feel like somebody is holding back, and you're wanting to be less stressed about it. You're not wanting to feel this heavy energy between the two of you anymore, but you're also wanting a plan, all right? And this is almost like you can't, you got to let somebody in. I am picking up, let this person in. It looks like somebody really wants to give you more, do more. They don't know how to. You seem to be somebody that is a tough cookie. You keep everything to yourself. You carry all your worries to yourself. And you don't want anybody to know what's going on. Because the second you put down your guards or you let somebody help you out, that's where you feel like you may get the rug pulled from you. All right, so I feel like trust is being asked for you this weekend. Let's see their next movement towards you. And I see the Page of Swords. So I do see that you guys may be starting a conversation. You may be talking to each other about certain things, maybe keeping it light, asking, you might notice they're asking you some questions. You may get a text this weekend if you've been waiting for this person to finally text you. And don't read the cautiousness as disinterest. I don't feel like that in this reading, but I do feel like somebody is a little bit nervous about what they say to you, and they may be filtering what they're saying to you, so that's where I'm seeing the transparency. Somebody may be all over the place, has been thinking about you for a while, and just wants to make sure they say the right things. So think about the person that's on your mind. And let's I'm just going to pull from the middle. I keep getting that same card. Hope. Don't lose hope in this connection. I guess that's the card for everybody, but let's see. Let's nurture our love every step of the way. That fits well with the Six of Swords energy. It feels like, I don't know where this is going, but we're both feeling pulled to see where this relationship goes. We've crossed paths, and, there's got to be something out there for us. And so let's just take it every step of the way, take it day by day, and, just try and figure things out without being 100% prepared. We don't have all the answers yet. All right, so this weekend could be just conversation and just trying to settle in and open up a little bit. You got a lot of air energy there for you. All right, Libra. Yeah. Let's see, 38. All right, Libra. Libra gang. All right, their feelings, your feelings, and their next possible move. All right, Six of Wands. All right, so the attraction's real. You got somebody who finds you irresistible in a sense. You stand out in a crowd, and you get a lot of attention. All right, so you could be dealing with somebody too who also has a little jealousy, ego, and pride, right? And it's like, you're just looking good. Maybe somebody feels like they want your attention, They want your attention more, but you may get a lot of attention that you're unaware of. This could be somebody on social media too as well. But the Six of Wands is the overall energy. So there's definitely somebody circulating around you. So let's see their feelings. The Two of Pentacles. You know, and this can be an issue. It's like, you've got me hooked, but you know, the chemistry is there, but can we make it work? Is it more than chemistry? Can we make this happen? So it's undefined. And it's like, I would rather just kind of see how things play out rather than say anything or make anything for certain. You know, so you got somebody here that could be driving you nuts because they tend to go, you know, 1 minute give it all and then the next minute, you know, it's quiet, or, you know, it just feels like you're dealing with somebody who is a lot different than you and the way you would handle things. So you guys are trying to figure each other out and mesh, and they're trying to figure you out. You know, but this is somebody here that is like, you know, to make a decision right now is overwhelming me. I don't want to make a decision. I don't want to define something. I don't want to make the next move yet. I just want to see how things play out. Now, it could be somebody who's reading you and wondering if, you know, you got something else going on. I want to know what you're really doing. I want to see how long, you know, how this, you know, plays out is what I'm getting. So your feelings, though, the Nine of Swords, it's got you all over the place. It's got you super stressed out. It's like, you know, how long can you keep worrying about this? And, you know, maybe it's time to have the talk. Maybe it's time, you know, you're absorbing this and you're worrying about it, but are you saying anything? Are you just keeping the peace, you know? Are you letting somebody kind of do this wobbly thing and keep on going back and forth because you don't know what to do? You don't want to do anything, all right? But this is causing you a lot of anxiety because you just can't read the energy they're giving off, and I can see that. I do feel like somebody here may, you know, be uncertain about whether or not this is just chemistry or this is something that can turn into something more. But it does look like you want something more. So let's see, you know, what's going on, their next move possibly. I don't see anything changing right now. So you've been dealing with this for quite some time, and it tells me that you have to ask for clarity. You have to, if you're losing sleep over this and somebody comes in and kind of hints on to, I'm attracted to you, but then they pull away and it just seems like wishy-washy in a way, you know, this is where it's not changing right now for you. And it really feels like you've got to clear this up and make a decision about this connection. It's on you is what it says, because this person's going to keep doing this to you as long as you allow them to, right? But it doesn't, you know, it doesn't stop the fact, because this is where it gets confusing for you. Why are they so attracted but won't do anything? I don't know. I wish I had the answer for all human behavior. Think of the person on your mind, and let's get an oracle. Ooh, this card just fell out. So no time or distance can break our connection with the person that's on your mind. So with that being said, that might alleviate some of this anxiety. Sometimes the thing is that if somebody's going to keep going back and forth, you decide to give it distance or take a break from the connection because it won't change. This is when, if this is an unbroken connection and you know that you guys, you know, belong together or feel this strong pull, when you do decide to let go, sometimes that's when it happens, the magic happens, all right? They'll finally step forward. But no time or distance can break our connection. And look at this one here. Letting go is sometimes the kindest and easiest choice. You have Scorpio energy showing up here. All right, my Scorps. Hello, Miss Birdie. All right, Scorpio, their feelings, your feelings. I see an Emperor. I see Aries energy already showing up for you. So, and twice I saw the Judgment card, and that's the bottom of the deck. So let's see what's next, because we have to make some sort of final call, that could shift the direction of the relationship. This is sort of all or nothing, your type of energy moment where, if some of you don't get the answer that you're looking for, or that direction, this is where you're going to pull your teeth out. It's like, I just can't. I gotta have a direction. I gotta know where this is going. I need to know the truth. So let's see your person's Four of Cups, all right? Maybe they're boring you. Maybe they're not moving fast enough for you. They're making you feel like they're not interested. And I do have the Judgment card. So I am feeling like you want somebody, this person here, their feelings. They may feel something with you, but right now they're not giving off an energy that they're 100% invested or know what to do, and not even maybe wanting it enough, which can suck, right? Because you want all their attention. Now, this doesn't mean this person doesn't have feelings for you, but maybe they can't give you all of them or all of their time right now and everything that you need or want. And they may be feeling kind of like, I just can't give you what you want and it's never enough type of energy. So I need to make a decision here about whether or not a relationship or this person is fulfilling you. Because if this is somebody that has been burned and they just are stuck in that mentality, like, I've been hurt before and I'm just not, I'm not willing to heal or grow from it, and I'm stuck in my ways. This can be, they could be testing you, maybe, right? But this isn't something that is going to make you happy. It's like, you're going to get pulled into this energy. So let's see your feelings. The Three of Pentacles. It looks like you're constantly trying to fix the situation. You're adjusting constantly. You're always trying to make it work somehow, right? No matter what, it's like, but it seems like you're carrying dead weight, right? Or you're carrying somebody who is sulking and is just not always a team player. And so you're going to constantly be feeling like you're carrying the workload. You're doing the most. You're putting in more effort. You're compensating. You're doing too much is what I'm seeing to make a situation, a person change. You cannot fix another person. So this doesn't mean leave this person or walk away from this person. If this is a new person, I would say don't invest so quickly, because this is somebody here that is not ready to pick themselves up and move forward. But at the same time, if this is somebody that you're connected with, just know they gotta fall and fix their own shit and get back up on their feet. You can't fix everything, right? But you're wanting to try and fix things faster than they can happen right now with this person. What's their next actions towards you? I do see them coming back around here. So whatever starts this relationship, this person always has to come back around. So even if they pull away their energy a little bit, this person's always coming back around you. But I am seeing here that you are doing too much to make this work, and hopes, and you're compensating, and this person needs to step up, so you need to step back a little bit so that their move, when they come in, the Fool card says, when I'm in the mood and I'm feeling good, I'll jump in, but then when they pull back, you're stuck doing all the work, right? So think about the person that's on your mind. I see Aries here, water, earth. But think about the person that's on your mind. Your love is my safe place. All right. So even with this message I just said, you got to be careful with that, because somebody could be taking advantage of the fact that you do everything, that you're always the one that's willing to pick up or fix things or accommodate. All right. And somebody really does feel a strong pull to you and feels comfortable with you. But this is going to be a pattern, you know, constant pattern if this person's not willing to face whatever it is they're avoiding. All right. But you are definitely home to somebody. Somebody values you. All right, Sagittarius. All right, Sagittarius. Their feelings, your feelings, and their next possible move. Woo, you got the 9 of Swords too at the bottom of the deck. So Wheel of Fortune. Maybe it's time to get something off my chest. Something's been weighing on somebody for a minute here. What are you losing sleep over? You know, do you see somebody coming back around here that may have a little bit of regret about something or feel bad the way something was left? So let's see their feelings. You got the 4 of Cups too for your person, right? So somebody not feeling very good. It's a little different from Scorpio's energy. All right. Somebody may have pulled back, but they're not letting you realize how deeply they feel about you. And you know, they may have overreacted in a moment. They may have done something in a moment where now they're regretting it. And it feels like, you know, I want to say something. I feel a certain way. I might be acting like I don't care, or I'm distant, but that is far from the truth here. So let's see your feelings. They've got you confused, and some of you may even be thinking like, I don't want to do this again, or I don't know what to do. Right? Do I make a move? Do I say something to this person? This person's really got you confused. All right. So if something was said in the heat of the moment, you got somebody feeling it. And maybe they are pulling back. Maybe they are hoping that you'll come back around and you will say something to them. Maybe you have been. I get the feeling that you've been trying to say something to this person and they keep pushing you away. All right. So at this point, it does feel like maybe you are meant to just sit back and let this person make a decision and don't let it affect you so much. Right. Because their guilt is weighing on them and they feel for you more than they're letting on. All right. So what are their next actions towards you? I do see the 2 of Wands. So they will contact you. They will step up. They will pull forward, and hopefully you don't have to make any kind of move. So think about the person that's on your mind, and let's pull an oracle. All right. Let's nurture our love every step of the way. All right. So, you know, it's like slow down and one step at a time. Maybe you are dealing with some sort of issue with you and the person on your mind, but it's something that's temporary. It feels temporary with the 2 of Wands and the 4 of Cups. So it says that it's still growing between you and the person on your mind too as well. Maybe not jump to any conclusions or force any decisions right now. All right, Capricorn. All right, Capricorn. Let's see their feelings, your feelings, and their next possible move towards you. Ace of Swords. So sounds good. It looks like somebody's been sweating, talking to you, wanting to connect with you, misses talking to you, or just likes talking to you, wants to get something started with you. So let's see their feelings. Page of Pentacles. All right. So we got some good energy coming your way. Somebody that really wants or misses talking to you or really wants to start talking to you. Could be a new person that's trying to enter your life. I got an earthy energy, and it also could be that apology you're looking for. You know, somebody here is missing. Maybe there was a confusion with the Five of Swords, and there was misunderstanding. And you have somebody here that coming back around, hoping they can make it right. Right? Somebody really trying to build something with you, and they really care about you. It can come across kind of friendly, like, or maybe not super exciting, or the chemistry is not off the chart, because they're very cautious, but it doesn't mean it's not there. All right, so let's see. And it's like they are trying to act like they you know, they're trying to hold back here. There's more going on behind the scenes than you realize. All right, so I am seeing how you feel. Look at this, the Queen of Swords. You're like, what the heck? Very discerning. You're not sure what you think. Don't judge a book by its cover is what I'm getting. You might be reading their slowness and their actions as, you know, I don't know. It could be just making you feel very guarded, like you're just not sure. You're trying to figure them out. And right now, I would say give it a little bit more time. Don't read into everything this person is doing, because it does show that they really care about you, but they're slower to open up than you are. And you may be trying to you may be reading them as being dull or immature or slow, or, you know, just boring, not moving, but that's not the truth. It'll pick up afterwards. This person always starts off slow. What's their next actions towards you? The Knight of Cups. All right, so you have somebody falling for you, which feels like, as I'm falling for you, I don't want you to know how deeply I'm falling for you. Right? I'm definitely in love with you. And maybe this is where you're kind of like, what's going on here? Because when somebody's trying super hard to move slower, even though they're falling in love, it can give off an awkward, guarded energy. And then it makes you put your guards up. All right. So I'm seeing water, air, and earth here, but I feel like somebody's fallen in love with you, and you may get that announcement here this weekend. Think of the person that's on your mind. With you, forever feels real. So you got somebody on your mind who just sees a future with you, whether you're together or not. And they feel you're maybe the most real person they've ever connected to. Now, if it goes with this reading here, it feels like somebody's thinking about a future with you, Capricorn. All right. I didn't skip Gemini. I didn't put the name on. Can somebody give the timestamp? Gemini is 13. All right, so Aquarius. Bye, Birdie. Have a good one. Hello, Miss Female Pisces. All right, Aquarius. Their feelings, your feelings, their next possible movement towards you. The Judgment card for you too as well. Somebody making an important decision regarding commitment and regarding the future. A relationship or commitment with you will change the direction of their life. They'll have to adjust and change things in their life to be with you. Somebody could be pondering this. Somebody might be making an important decision regarding their living situation and moving and thinking about starting fresh with you. This could be an opportunity. Somebody even just making an important decision to maybe commit. Their feelings, the 7 of Cups. Wow. All right. So the attraction is there, but it confuses them. You know, it's like maybe they didn't expect you to come into their life, you know. You've got them in their head, and it just feels like, you know, somebody like this who is FOMO in a way. They're afraid to commit because, you know, I've gotten used to my independency, but yet I have feelings for Aquarius, and now I'm imagining what a future looks like. So getting close to you, to me, feels like somebody here is going to lose their independency or have to change their life, you know, again. So they could be getting ready to commit to you and give you an offer. You're taking up a lot of space in somebody's heart and mind. You, the Knight of Swords, all right? You already know what you want. You've set your pace. It seems like you've said what you've had to say. You know, you have strong intentions. You know exactly what you want. You know, and maybe you're just kind of like, you know, whatever, you know, I'm quick. If a decision comes in, I'm ready for a decision. I want a decision, and I'm cool with a decision. So this could actually happen pretty fast and actually happen to your benefit, right? You may be somebody that is quick to move on, and this person may feel like, you know, if I don't make a choice, Aquarius may just up and go, move on. So I do see possible water and also an air sign for you. But you know what you want. So their next actions towards you, look at this, the Star card, you win. It looks like Aquarius, you got it. Whatever's starting between you and this person, you know, you got them stuck on you. You got them thinking about the future. So you could be making future plans with your person here this weekend because they cannot get you off their mind, Aquarius. You are probably one of a kind, and just really, no matter what, whatever experience this person had with you, you know, it stands out above the rest. So let's get an oracle. Oh, this one just fell out. I'm learning to open my heart once more. There you go. It feels like I can't resist you. And you come into my life, and now I've got to make a choice. And, you know, so this is somebody here that is, I'm just getting started again, and you've got my heart. So here we go. So we're opening the door to a new start with you and somebody. All right, Aquarius. And Pisces, we made it. All right, guys, I think 4 people so far, maybe a couple people in the background. I don't know, but I'm going to do super chats, and I'm closing up quickly. All right, 103 for Pisces. We made it. All right, Pisces. Their feelings, your feelings, and their next possible movement. We're looking at this weekend, but it could be, you know, this week. It doesn't have to be just this weekend. All right, Knight of Swords. All right, so you're talking about communication coming in, something you've been hanging around, waiting on somebody, it's coming in. All right, it looks like there is movement finally if there's been silence. All right, finally, somebody here, you know, after keeping you hanging or keeping you curious, and maybe some of you even thinking about letting go of a situation, and before you know it, boom, here it comes. Right when you least expect it, your person's feelings, Ace of Swords, thinking about you more so. You, Two of Cups. All right, so it does feel like mutual attraction between you and another person. Maybe you feel like they pulled away and distant and you were second guessing it, or maybe you were thinking they weren't interested in you. To be honest, maybe they were thinking they weren't sure they were. They weren't sure there was enough. They weren't sure, they felt like there was a strong attraction. All right, but they might have felt that you were ready for something more quickly. I don't know, but there's chemistry there, and sometimes people just need to pull away and think about you more so that they can, fantasize about it or actually think about what they really want. So to me, it feels like it could have created a little bit of nerves for you, you thinking that something's not going to pan out. But it looks like somebody wants to talk to you. Somebody wants to connect with you, and they're still thinking about maybe the last thing you said or the last time you were together. So what's their next actions? And I see the Judgment card. All right, you are seeing somebody finally make a decision to come together and connect with you. It looks like I choose you. So very magnetic connection. Maybe they weren't expecting you to have such a strong pull on them. But it's like something you said or the way you made them feel or something that happened between you and this person, right, has got them thinking about their intentions and what they really want. And it looks like making a decision that's going to change the direction of this relationship. And you could be getting together if it's a first date, a second date. If it's a friendship, it could be turning into something more as well. So let's see the person on your mind. I'm going to pull an oracle. Ooh, this one just flew out. No challenge is too big for us to overcome. So there's no doubt in my mind that some of you are not facing some sort of challenge, especially with the Hanged Man at the bottom of the deck over here and the Knight of Swords. Some of you feeling like you got to make a decision. And when it's quiet and silent, sometimes we don't have to do anything. We just have to let somebody really stew over what's going on, because it looks like there may be a challenge, but it's not one that you guys can't overcome. You guys will find yourself connecting again. All right, guys. So that is it. I'm going to do the super chats. Let me put up the timestamps. I got to remind people that I forgot to change the title from Taurus. All right, give me 2 seconds. All right, so timestamps are up. And let's do, all right, Fernando. General for Fernando. All right, Fernando, how are you? General. All right. The death card's at the bottom. Something's, played its course. Something's ended. Something has changed. And, as the undertone, it tells me that if there's things going on in your life that that they're over, they're ended, we got to let go of them. The work becomes just trying not to repeat the thoughts in our head. and holding on to things that need to go. It's just life happens. And then there's always making space for something new coming in. But it tells me that something had to come in. That's okay, Marsh. I got you. You It tells me that that you have to let go of something, and something was changing, and you're different too. All right. So if we're trying to hang out with people or be in a situation or work or anything like that, and we know we've changed and outgrown something, this is still going to be an energy underneath the surface that is stressing us out because we're different. We've grown out of something. We've moved on from something, but we're still trying to play small or play the old version of ourselves for other people. So let's see what's trying to leave your life. And I see the Seven of Pentacles, this stagnancy that you've been keeping yourself in. You're waiting for change. You're wanting something to change. And you're putting a lot of your energy in just showing up every day and, waiting for the next day or waiting for a rainy day. But it looks like now you're supposed to be planning for a new path, right? It doesn't mean that you let go of everything you've got. It just means that there's something that you're feeling like you've lost creativity. You feel like you're stuck. You feel like you want something more. And so at this point, we got to look at our life, review it, and decide where we're going to make some changes. What is shifting in your life? And I see the Three of Pentacles. It could be mainly around work and the people that you connect with on a daily basis, people that you feel support with. And it also could be assistance, financial assistance, counseling, and things like that. Maybe you're seeking some of this stuff right now, or you're being asked to seek it, so that you can make the changes that you need. If you are feeling stuck or having a block in your career, this is saying get some guidance. There could be somebody around you teaming up. Somebody could be feeling the same way. Or other people around you might be feeling like you're just not part of the team anymore. They can tell that you're not interested anymore. So what is new and trying to enter your life? And I'm seeing, the Five of Cups. It's like something new, not the past. We're looking for something new. It's like letting go of certain things that let you down and disappointment. So feeling disappointed in life. It seems like whatever is disappointing you the most and really dragging ass on, and you just really don't know what to do. It's trying to leave your life and let something new, let new love, let new opportunities come into your life, new people, new friendships. All right, and I'm getting the Ten of Swords. So I definitely feel like it's time for you. Your message it keeps saying the same thing over and over. It feels like you're finished with something. And whatever this is that you're finished with, maybe you do need to get some assistance, talk to somebody, try and map out a new plan, talk to your coworkers, talk to friends, but people see that you are unhappy about a situation because it could be you're staying somewhere longer than you're meant to. Any advice? But this has to be felt inside. And I see the Ace of Pentacles. All right. It's like the opportunities are around you, and it looks like you're looking for a new place to plant seeds. Pay attention to new opportunities coming your way. And it looks like maybe you are ready for a new opportunity, a new job, new home, new move, new relationships. But it is taking one step at a time, planting one seed at a time. It doesn't mean you need to change all this in one day, but it does say take the next step. I love you. All right. Yes, if you guys came through, just because I put the questions closed doesn't mean I'm not going to leave you guys hanging. I just wanted to put it up there. I see Cindy and Fernando I just did, and I see, I don't know what your screen name is, but I do see, I'll put MB. I'll just put your initials. You got 2 questions. All right, Abigail. My past came back with a Karen text last night. Like I felt it in my gut. He would at some point. What's the best way for me to approach this? Hopefully to bring us back together. All right. So I like your question. The best way to approach this. What is the best way for you to approach this? I need to see his energy. Your energy. I gotta, hold on, I gotta blow this up so I can see it more. All right. So, my Karen text. Did he reach out to you first? That's always important. You know, it makes a difference. It does. It's like if we're the ones to pursue and then they say something nice back, we can easily read into that. And yeah, it's nice. And we're happy that we got something nice. But it's different if they actually reached out on their own and said something. It shows more initiative. All right, I have the Wheel of Fortune. So what's the best way for you to approach this? And I see the Justice card. This is, I could, you know, I could go on and on and on, but I'm not going to on this discussion because this is karma and karmic situation and strong patterns. So you are seeing that he's coming back around. This is a situation coming back around, but you're also saying gut feeling, you trust yourself, you trust your gut. You have to identify, in my experience, what the pattern is. Because the first second you start to subconsciously go back into your patterns and want a healthy or start talking or make things normal, you never know what you're doing that triggers the situation. And then you might not be doing anything at all, but the second you let down your guards, it's like anything can happen and something can sideswipe you. So you have to know what you're up against. You're taking a chance here. You're opening up something that's gone around a couple times. It's an X for a reason. You know, so figuring out what that pattern is, what that trigger is, what it is it that every single time something goes down between the two of you, what happens? Is it one wanting more, one pursuing more, not feeling like they're giving you enough attention, they're not validating your feelings, they're not doing something that ends up triggering you and triggers your anxiety or anxiousness to pursue, or you get frustrated and want to discuss something. So something's got to happen. I'm just giving an example. And when we can figure out what that pattern is, we can make choices this time around not to get pulled into the same dynamic. So you have more control over the situation and staying true to your integrity, not getting sucked back into an old dynamic and an old pattern again. His feelings. I see the Four of Pentacles. So you do have somebody here that's still stuck on you, but you got somebody here that's still slow to open up, still stuck in their ways. But you know, there's growth here, though. It seems like you guys really have built something or have something that neither of you can 100% close the door on the situation. So I see the Six of Pentacles. You're so given and ready to give, and this could be where you're undervaluing yourself, and you may tend to, because they are only given very little. You see, they're the Four of Pentacles. They hold back and they wait to see what you'll give them. So you end up doing everything and compensating for the lack of. You can't do that this time. You got to let this person give to you. but your desires to have what you want will make you give and do just so you don't have to deal with the uncomfortableness of waiting or uncertainty of your person. So, but that ends up biting us in the ass later. I'll just do it. I'll take care of it. I'll put more effort into it. It'll get better in the future. No, they'll stay stuck in their own way. And you have to be okay with times when they're not putting in the effort, and you're not going to overcompensate and do it, because it's going to be a one-sided relationship again. So being disciplined and not wanting to be caretaker and overgive and be super nice and kind and generous with all your energy and forgiving, because you're hoping that they'll open up more and you got a good start. So maybe if I do better this time, nothing will happen and it won't, you know, things will change. But what's happening is you're doing the same thing you were doing before. And it didn't change anything then either. So when you're taking back an ex like this and you really do want this situation to change, you have to change the thing that's going to be the hardest thing for you to change, without justifying your actions and making excuses for why, or making excuses for them either. It'll just be this once. Or agreeing just for peace, agreeing just to, or going to see them because, you know, they won't make the effort to come see you, or always texting them because they won't text you. So there's something, and you got to figure out what that is that you were doing, because it may feel good in the moment, but if you're looking for long-term satisfaction, you've got to confront the biggest problem. And even if it's always people pointing at the external person, it's everybody else, it's them, it's my ex, it's all this stuff, it's still something that we're doing. And, you know, we got to change the thing that we think will fix it. And that's the best I can say it today. For some reason, I'm struggling with my wisdom here. But let's see any other advice that will bring you guys together. And I'm seeing judgment, all right? You cannot go against your higher judgment. You've got to make the difficult choices. You know, and I've already said it. If you don't want to repeat the past, you've got to make the important decisions to stay true to yourself and say what you want, mean what you want. Don't be okay with very little right now because it could get better later, right? That's not going to work. And I'm seeing the Queen of Swords. So everything is about discernment and judgment for you, and not people pleasing just to keep the peace, because you will feel better if they're in your life than not, because it will for a minute and it might for a while, but the problem itself is not going to go away. And it does look like the problem is they are stuck in their ways, in a sense. They try to control everything and they put less effort into it than you do. You seem to be the one that is the overgiver, and the one that's always, and you're the one that's always judging yourself, or also being hard on yourself, because if something goes wrong, you immediately think it's something that maybe you did or could have done differently. But it's because you're dealing with somebody who gives just the basics. And that's what I have for you. So it can work. It can work. And you have the Wheel of Fortune and you have the Justice card, but you've got to show up and it has to be fair for you and him. And there has to be a balance in who puts the effort in. Both are doing it. It's equals, 50-50 for the most part, you know? Sending you love. All right, I got Miss Romy, Blaker, Marsh, Crafty. Oh, Marsh, you were the one that was MB. Okay. What are his thoughts, feelings on me being with someone else? He seemed very bothered by just the possibility. Okay. All right. He's acting chill about it. I can see that. But it bothers him more than he's letting on. You are correct. He probably wasn't expecting it to be an option. He probably thinks that you're stuck on him and he doesn't see that as a possibility. I see the Seven of Pentacles. I guess it's the first time he's actually thought about it. Feelings, Ace of Cups, and thoughts, feelings. Okay, and I see the Ten of Cups. I don't know. Maybe you've sparked some curiosity into him. It looks like you've got him thinking about. He never had to think about that. Maybe you putting a little bit of pressure on him. He thought things just going to kind of unfold or play out the way they are with that Temperance card. But the Seven of Pentacles, now you got them starting to think that maybe taking things a little bit more serious. But he definitely has feelings for you in this reading today. It does seem like he's bothered by it, but he's not letting on how much he is bothered by it. I don't think he was wanting to make any kind of decision or commitment just yet, the Seven of Pentacles. He's not ready to make any future plans like that, but now his feelings, the Ace of Cups, it looks like he may pay attention to the way he's making you feel, because he may try to initiate in some ways subtly that kind of keeps you. I don't like that either, because it's like, I don't want to make a decision just yet, so I need to give you signs that there's still possibilities here, because that's the card of possibilities of a future with you. But he also still does see the possibilities of a future with you. So the thoughts of you being with somebody else may not have crossed his mind recently, but now that it looks like it's changed the whole package. It looks like it's changed everything about the way he's thinking and feeling. I don't think he wants to see you maybe with somebody else. You know, he might enjoy your company. He could also hope that you find happiness at the same time. Either way, he wants you to find happiness. But I just don't think he was ready to look at the possibility. Let's see you, the Nine of Swords, right? You don't got to sweat it, you know, too much or make a decision of doing it. But it seems like maybe you are starting to get a little anxious about what he's feeling and what he's doing or thinking. Don't do anything that I wouldn't date somebody or try to get somebody jealous or do anything to try and make movement, because sometimes it works against us. So don't do anything out of fear or decide to move on or try to connect with somebody to make them jealous to see if they move, because it seems like in the most scenarios it works against us. But I can see that you're worrying about it, but it does look like you've had a good shift with his energy and the possibility of seeing a future with you. All right, sending you love, Romy. I hope you enjoyed your vacation. All right, is Scorpio walking away? All right, let's see. I got the Hermit card, so it does look like they're separating themselves, and I see the Seven of Pentacles as well too. And you got the Ace of Cups, so I just shuffled them, and the Two of Cups. They're not quite sure what they want either, and so I wouldn't say walking away. I'm not going to say walking away. I'm saying pulling away. Walking away is saying, I don't want anything, and I'm out. Pulling away is, I'm going in my own space here. I'm not quite sure what I want. I don't want to make plans yet for the future, but I do feel some feelings or pull towards you. So you could be just dealing with temporary silence or letting something just do its thing and let them pull away a little bit, right? But you got to go mind your own business and do your own thing. You don't sit there and with binoculars waiting for them to come back around, because we shouldn't do that anyways. But it does seem like they're kind of reviewing. They're not ready to take that next step or commitment. But it doesn't mean that they're not invested or that there isn't a possibility for you guys to meet up again, because you're seeing the Ace and the Two of Cups, which is a conversation and possibly the relationship deepening. So whatever's going on right now could potentially bring you guys closer in the future. So I wouldn't look at it as walking away for good. If you push somebody and you won't let them pull away, sometimes they'll throw in the flag and then they will walk away. But if we just let people, especially a Scorpio, just, all right, do your thing, go for your walk, see you later. I'll be here when you come back, and give them that space. Don't cling to it. You know, Scorpio will come back around, according to these cards. All right, sending you love. Blacker, the berry. All right, so Marsh, I have 2 questions. Did you send your 2 questions? Hi, Marsh, Saji. I think this is you. I don't see your questions. I don't know if you put them in the chat, but I didn't see them. Marshy. All right, Marsh, I'm going to move on to Crafty. As soon as you get your question in, I will do your question. All right, so all right, Marsh. All right. All right, you have 2 questions though. What's your second question? Broke up with Aries, wondering what his feelings are. I see this first question. I just don't see your second question. All right, broke up with Aries. Yes, I got your question. I just don't see your second question. All right, broke up with Aries, wondering what his feelings are. All right, Wheel of Fortune. Maybe they didn't see this coming. Knight of Swords. You got their mind spinning. And the Six of Swords. And the Nine of Pentacles. You know, it does look like they're just focusing on being single, being independent, just doing their thing, maybe acting more chill about it than they're letting on. But I do see that they may not have seen this coming or didn't think that it would happen. Maybe they think it'll be short-lived. But I feel like, you know, they're enjoying their freedom, you know, or they're just pretending to enjoy their freedom. Let's pull cards for the second one. I'll see if I can connect them together. Is he connecting with his coworker, Ashley? I see the 3 of Cups, the Queen of Swords, and the 5 of Pentacles. All right. Well, what I'm seeing is it could be casual. It could be hanging out. Could be talking. I do see connecting with friends and connecting with a feminine energy. But I think it's she's not getting what she wants out of it. Because there's a sense of rejection. Like, he may be talking to her or connecting to her, but he doesn't want anything more than just talking or casual. So she could be trying to connect with him, but it looks like she could be dealing with rejection from him as well. I think your Aries is focusing more on freedom and being by themselves, even from you. Now, it doesn't mean, you know, right now it seems like maybe they didn't believe you. Maybe they're just, you know, I'm just going to do my thing and I'm just going to move forward and just act like I don't care. I'm chill. I'm just going to move forward. I'm going to focus on me. They might even expect you to be back around, you know, and I see the Temperance card. So I feel like your Aries is just playing it cool. They could care, you know, they're just doing whatever. Maybe you guys have been going around in circles for a minute and dealing with the same thing. You know, maybe they feel like this is going to be short-lived, whatever it is. But it looks like they're just doing their thing to keep the peace and they're just acting chill about it. And I feel like there's a part of me that feels like maybe they're calling your bluff. Like, they know you'll be back around. And if there is any flirting going on with Ashley, it could definitely be flirting, but I feel like she's the 5 of Pentacles. Like, she's getting some sort of rejection or rebound, or she's not feeling good about the encounter. Because it does look like he's just talking or just kind of being by himself. Anything Spirit wants you to know? I see the King of Swords. All right. There's a reason why you broke up with him. The 9 of Cups. You're being asked to kind of hold back and stay true to your decision. You got to act like you're not bothered either. Because it looks like, you know, you've been going around in circles and he's going to play it cool until you cave. But he feels like you're going to be back around. And the 9 of Cups and the King of Swords, it's like, maybe you know you deserve better. And he's just not acting it's not making him act any faster, or it's not making a difference, the breaking up. I don't think he believes that you're going anywhere, is what I'm getting. So he's going to play super chill and act like nonchalant. Nothing's bothering me. I'm doing my thing. I'm just moving forward, you know, and it's going to drive you crazy. So I do feel like maybe you got to do the same thing and focus on yourself and see how it plays out. I don't see him in any rush to hook up with anybody. Like I said, if it's anything, it's casual. It's not anything serious. And it looks more like he's just trying to hang out with himself and just in solitude, do his thing and work. But mind his own business. It looks like he's just trying to mind his own business. And that's what I got. That's a difficult situation. You guys work together? Why is it doing this? It feels like, I can see where some of the texts are. Yeah. So to me, it feels like he's playing. To me, it feels like, Marsh, that I know you're going to be back around. Like maybe he's calling your bluff. That's what it feels like. Like he's just not taking the separation as serious as, and he is selfish. So it does feel like you need to go a little cold on it. This is, you got to detach, especially with that King of Swords energy. All right. Thank you, Lisa. Yep, I am Crafty, and then I am Outie. You're welcome, March. All right. Oh, it's long distance too. All right. So still in no contact with Taurus. Wondering if he has moved on from our connection this time. All right. I do have the Death card right now at the bottom of the deck, so let's see his energy around the situation. The King of Pentacles. His focus is on himself, his comforts, his home, his work, but he still thinks about you. All right, the energy around you is you still feel you have a place in his home, place in his heart. But he is in his element, and it doesn't look like he's doing anything to disrupt his peace. And that can be frustrating with your Taurus because Mars is there too. So it does feel like it can be lazier energy. It can be like, I might think about you, but I'm not trying to disrupt or cause any conflict. So in the current energy, it does look like he could be letting go of the connection, but to keep the peace. What is going on with him at home? I see the Ten of Cups. It looks like he's trying to bring it together, bring his marriage together, focus on bringing his marriage together, his family. What are his thoughts about you, moving towards you? And I see the Ace of Swords. So you constantly cross his mind. But he's just trying to mend his home. He's trying to keep the peace at home, and he's trying to stay on track with work, home, family. And that's why he's not taking any action towards you. Maybe things are finally comfortable and he doesn't want to stir the pot. You cross his mind. What should you do? Let's see your energy. Four of Swords. There's nothing you really can do. You know, the Four of Swords is silence your mind, quiet, and maybe in the future you guys will cross paths again because energy does change, especially with you crossing his mind. But right now you have this energy of rest, a break between the two of you. You know, because what could change right now? You guys could get together, but is anything going to change with the marriage, with the home, with your situation? You know, it's like everything's kind of just in a resting place, put to rest right now. And that sounds like wah wah, you know what I mean? It's like that Death card in the Four of Swords just means, you know, these kind of relationships will come around again. You'll be doing this for years. You'll do it again. But right now it does look like the reason why you're feeling this way is because it does look like the death card has stomped in and said something has to be put to rest for now, until we figure out our next plan, our next move. He maybe even has thought about reaching out to you or connecting with you. But these two cards here are screaming, I'm really trying to keep it together at home. I'm really trying to not disrupt the family, not disrupt the home, and, you know, and focusing on my goals, my work. So he could be throwing himself into work too as well, just so he doesn't disrupt anything else going on in his life. So anything else over there? And I see the 3 of Cups. You know, it just seems like they're trying to bring it all together, make things work. And you know that they have difficulties. Maybe they're having a good, they're on a high right now, or they're doing better right now. And that's what I got. I'm digging. You just got to give this some more space, more time with these situations. You guys were dealing with the right place, wrong time, right feelings, wrong time. You both wanted it, but it was just, there was too many things that had to happen in order for you guys to come together. And it became so disruptive that you guys needed this space. And this could even bring, you guys will cross paths again here and connect or socialize or see each other while you're out and about. And I do see the Page of Pentacles, right? So I do see there's still an opening here. They're not completely out of your life. They're not completely out of your life right now, but the love connection situation that you're trying, that you're wanting right now is not moving. Yes, is not moving just yet, right? In this energy. And that's what I got for you. Sending you love, Crafty. Let's get an oracle for that. Let's see if I can get you see if there's anything comes out of this oracle. And then I'm going to shut off really quickly so nobody else comes in. Let's get an oracle. Let's see. All right, let light fill spaces once occupied by sorrow. All right, so right now there's a lot of pain, there's darkness, there's separation going on, but there's still some light shining in there. All right, there's still some room to grow. It's just not the time. I love you, and I'll see you guys later. Have a great weekend. Take care.